Dear students, I welcome you for the today's lecture related to the thermal conductivity and its variation with respect to the temperature. From the Fourier law of heat conduction, that is Q, which is equal to minus Ka dt upon dx, where K is the proportionality constant and is a measure of the ability of a material to conduct heat. This temperature gradient dt upon dx, the slope of a temperature curve on Tx diagram, the slope of this temperature dt and the distance dx, that is the slope, and the negative sign indicates that heat is conducted in the direction decreasing temperature, and temperature gradient becomes negative when temperature decreases with the increasing distance. That means the temperature gradient, say at this small interval, say at a distance of 0.25 meters, the temperature gradient initially is different. After that, the temperature gradient is again different. That the temperature gradient becomes negative when the temperature decreases with increasing distance. Initially, the temperature gradient is 30 degrees to 20 degrees. Then here it may be 27 degrees and 20 degrees. Here the temperature gradient may be the say 25 degrees and 20 degrees. So gradually this temperature gradient decreases. The negative sign in the equation ensures that the heat transfer in a positive x direction is a positive quantity. The rate of heat conduction through the solid is directly proportional to its thermal conductivity. So, the rate of heat transfer through a unit thickness, of the material per unit area per unit temperature difference. That is what the K, which is equal to L upon A delta T into the Q. The rate of heat transfer Q through a unit thickness L of a material per unit area A per unit temperature difference. From this formula of basic heat conduction or from the law of Fourier, the rate of the definition of thermal conductivity that comes into the picture. It is rate of heat transfer through a unit thickness of the material per unit area per unit temperature difference. Then a higher value of thermal conductivity indicates that the material is a good heat conductor, and lower values indicate that the material is a poor heat conductor, or it can be called as a insulator. And this conductivity is having the unit of watt per meter degree Celsius or watt per meter Kelvin. And one of the material, that is our diamond, is having the highest thermal conductivity of 2300 watt per meter degree Celsius, silver 4429, then glass fiber is 0.043 watt per meter degree Celsius, air 0.02 watt per meter degree Celsius, urethane foam, that is also 0.026 watt per meter degree Celsius. Then these thermal conductivities of the gases such as the air vary by a factor of 10 to the power 4 from these of pure metal such as the copper, because the copper is having the thermal conductivity of 400 and the gases is having the 0.026. Not only that, the pure crystals and metals have the highest thermal conductivities and the gases and the insulating material the lowest. Now what happens in a composites? The thermal conductivity of an alloy is usually much lower than the thermal conductivity of either metals or of its composites. Now look at this. The copper, the thermal conductivity is 400, nickel that is 90, but the constant 10 that is having the thermal conductivity of 23 only. Then our second alloy, that is bronze, which is combination of copper and aluminum, it is having the thermal conductivity of the 52 only. Now the thermal conductivity of a material varies with a temperature. This graph is the K, watt per meter degree Celsius thermal conductivity against the temperature. So the thermal conductivity at 100 degrees Celsius for the copper, that is 480. However, the thermal conductivity of copper at 800 Kelvin, that is 366. A wide variation in the thermal conductivity can be noted. Aluminium, again, it is having a wide variation in the thermal conductivity that is observed. You can look at this figure: iron, aluminum oxide, then water, then your diamond, silver, copper, gold, all having the variation of thermal conductivity with a temperature. However, as the temperature increases, the thermal conductivity decreases. But for some, it increases also. For example, steam, air, argon, the thermal conductivity increases with the increase in temperature. So variation of thermal conductivities of the various solids and liquids of gases with the temperature that is shown in this figure. Then the variable thermal conductivity. Now, when the variation of thermal conductivity temperature in a specified temperature interval is large, it may be necessary to account for this variation to minimize the error. That means I am going to take into account this variation of thermal conductivity with a temperature when the temperature ranges are wide. That is one factor. And sometimes I can take the average thermal conductivity for that particular average temperature, say from T1 to T2, kT of dt.